Salt and exercise. Why salt is an essential part of your workout. Now, sodium is a lot more useful for strength and performance than you might have been told. Now, if you're a fan of strongman Big Brian Shaw, he takes his burgers and loads sodium on top of there, far exceeding the RDA or recommended daily allowance. Or maybe you've seen strength coach Jason Ferrugia, who swears by his salty pickles. Ugh, pickles, dude, that's gross. Where he says it's his secret weapon for performance. Or perhaps you've heard nutrition coach Hafthor Bjornsson, the mountain, yes, Stan Efferding, calling sodium one of the most necessary and effective performance enhancers on earth. That's big words. Stan's been on my podcast, by the way. Now, if you've heard statements like this, there's a good chance you're probably confused, because isn't salt the white devil according to nutritionists and doctors? Well, it's not gonna send you to the grave like they're telling you. So today I want to explain why it could be the missing component in an athlete's nutrition plan. What is sodium anyways? Well, salt is an electrolyte, putting it in the same group as potassium, magnesium, calcium, and phosphate. Electrolytes create electrically charged, right, ions when dissolved in the body's fluids, and a big job for sodium and potassium is maintaining balance of fluids inside your body. It's called the sodium-potassium pump, or inside and outside of your cells. In other words, they help make sure cells don't shrivel like raisins or blow up like big balloons. We don't want that. Now, electrolytes have a few other jobs as well as maintaining your blood pH, but an important thing to note is that when we perspire, when we sweat takes electrolytes out of our body and out of our pores. So how much you lose can vary based off of how much you sweat, right? Generally speaking, you can lose about half a liter to 4 liters of sweat per hour when working out. And that's roughly 900 milligrams of sodium per liter, 200 milligrams of potassium, 15 milligrams of calcium, and 13 milligrams of magnesium. So in short, you lose a lot more sodium when you sweat than any other electrolyte. That's why it's so important and fair to say that sweaty athletes, they need to focus on replenishing their sodium more than other electrolytes. So if you're eating whole foods, plenty of fruits, vegetables, and lean meats, things like that, you're probably getting enough electrolytes without possibly having sodium, because processed foods, more sodium in them. Now, what are the benefits of sodium for athletes? Well, maintaining proper fluid balance is enormous importance for athletes, because those electrical charges, right? They help to activate muscle tissue, we want it working, and neurons. But if you ask Stan Efferding, who's the coach for Hafthor Bjornsson and Brian Shaw, he's also a power lifter and world record holder and bodybuilder himself. The dude's very impressive, by the way. It's important for a lot more. Stan says that our blood thickens when it's dehydrated. So not only does our blood carry less oxygen, we have a harder time filtering blood through our kidneys. So salt helps to increase blood volume. So we have a better cardiovascular system, better stamina, better endurance, and better recovery from exercise, which is huge because we need to recover so we can train hard the next day. Spanish researchers found that triathletes supplementing with salt-laced water's on the ground there. Oh, that's good. They finished a medium distance race 26 minutes faster than the control group. That's huge. And a more recent randomized double-blind control study of endurance runners published in PLOS ONE found that maximum performance was enhanced significantly by supplementing with just sodium. Now, can sodium improve your strength? Well, athletes do need a higher salt intake than the much more general population. Too much sodium can throw off your blood pressure, but the point is that athletes tend to lose a lot more sodium than your average individual who doesn't work out, since we have fewer processed foods, as I noted before. So we consume less salt. But doesn't sodium bloat you? Yes, according to Stan Efferding, but that's one of the reasons it's great for strength. It helps power your workouts. Now, he recommends about a half a teaspoon immediately before exercise, which is about 1,000 milligrams. Assuming it's not going to be, an easy workout that, as he puts it, are cable push-ups and selfie sessions. Now, the workouts for football players, for example, when they studied them, 7 grams of sodium were lost per hour. The RDI for sodium is 2.3, so it's more than threefold. So could salt be beneficial if you're not sweating quite as much? Say you're just maybe hitting some heavy reps and not metabolic conditioning and sweating as much. Well, it's important for hydration, but no, you don't need to have as much sodium before that workout or during that if you're not sweating as much. So you don't need to replenish as much. So be aware of what your workout is going to be. Now, we lose more sodium than any other electrolyte when we sweat, but our intake is dependent on these other electrolytes that I talked about and being in good shape as well. It's true that eating a lot of fruits and vegetables should keep our electrolytes pretty much solid, but it bears emphasizing that potassium and sodium work together. And they work with calcium, another electrolyte. Calcium relaxes blood vessels and it ameliorates all the potential blood pressure increasing effects of salt. We need that calcium. We can't talk about calcium without vitamin D3. Vitamin D3, getting outside, taking vitamin D3 helps the absorption of calcium, right? Very important. And then you need vitamin K2, which keeps it from being deposited in blood vessels and gets it to the bones and our teeth. My teeth are good. That's my K2. It all works together, as you've probably found out. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate things, but the take-home message here is to fill your macros with a diverse range of food that's good for anything. And while your sodium needs do increase when you sweat, make sure you listen to your doctor before making significant changes to your diet and lifestyle. So you may be saying, hey Joey, all right, how much should I take? How much do you take? Well, here's the thing. I want you to start slow. Don't load up like crazy. So about a 1/4 teaspoon in your water before your workout, 20, 30 minutes before your workout, you can do that. You can have a little bit of salt in your water when you're working out as well, and then do a 1/4 teaspoon afterwards. If you're not sweating as much, you're not going to need as much. Or you can do something like an electrolyte packet, like so. You take this, we open it up. This has about, I think, this is Element. No, they don't pay me, but hey, Element, if you guys want to pay me, go ahead. This has 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So your options are just to put this in your water here, about 1,000 milligrams of sodium and other electrolytes. You can drink that beforehand, during, and afterwards, so you're hitting that 1,000 mark, or you can take it just, salty. Whew. Put it straight in your mouth. I did that during Navy SEAL training. There it is. There's the reasons why you need sodium when you work out, because you are an athlete. I'm Joey Thurman at Joey Thurman Fit everywhere. You know what to do if you like this video. Do all the things, the thumbs up, the sharing, all that. I appreciate it, and I will see you soon. I'm flexing better because I had my sodium. Sodium curls, is that a thing? Peace.